This is your Storm Tracker team forecast first.
Well, good Sunday evening. Here's your forecast first. We're seeing some clouds make their way onshore ahead of a frontal system pushing north from the Gulf. It's not going to bring us anything in terms of rainfall, but it is going to bring us some cloud cover overnight. But no worries, we'll clear things out just in time for the start of your Monday. More details on your forecast in just a few minutes, but first, Local 33 News after Sunday Night Football starts right now.
Danielle, thank you very much. Coming up, Fiesta Bowl bound. The LSU Tigers are bringing their gridiron prowess to Glendale, Arizona. We'll be unpacking the reactions and the preparations underway. And rescue referendum, how one Ascension Parish animal shelter's future may rely on what voters decide. Plus, Festival of Lights, Louisiana's oldest city, flaunts a little holiday flair.
Baton Rouge proud. You're watching Local 33 News at 10.
And good evening. We do start with breaking news just into our newsroom over the last few minutes. Baton Rouge police telling us they're investigating a deadly shooting in the Zion City area of Baton Rouge. Investigators say they found 27-year-old Jordan Spears shot to death inside his home on Stearns Street. So far, they don't know anything about a suspect or a motive, but if you can help, give Crime Stoppers a call at 225-344-STOP. Good evening to you. I'm Harrison Golden in for Amber Smith. Thank you so much for joining us here for Local 33 News at 10, a special edition of it after Sunday Night Football. And we do have the LSU football Tigers heading west. The team's eyes all set now on the New Year's Six Bowl. For the very first time since the college football playoffs began in 2014, Morgan Beard is here with all there is to know, including who the Tigers will be facing and where. Morgan, good evening.
Yeah, that's right. Westward bound indeed. Harrison, LSU locking up a New Year's Bowl. The Tigers will play undefeated UCF in the Fiesta Bowl in Arizona on January 1st. But there's a bit of other news that might put a damper on the festivities in Arizona for the Tigers. LSU star cornerback Greedy Williams is declaring for the NFL draft. He announced today on Twitter, and as a result, has decided to sit out the Tigers' final game of the year. Williams is a redshirt sophomore and is draft eligible and is an expected top 10 pick in next year's NFL draft. Now, the Tigers had a similar situation when Leonard Fournette sat out at the Citrus Bowl versus Louisville back in 2016. We'll address this more later in sports, but back to the bowl game. The Tigers get a team currently on a 25-game win streak. That's right, the University of Central Florida. It'll be the first ever meeting between the two programs in football when they do square up on New Year's Day, plus the first trip to the Fiesta Bowl for LSU.
What an honor for our football team. Our team deserved the very best reward at the end of the season that was possible, and we feel that we got that in the Fiesta Bowl. What a prestigious bowl, what a prestigious matchup on New Year's Day. New Year's Day Six Bowl versus UCF. Coach Heupel has done a tremendous job. They have a 25-game winning streak. This is going to be a challenge for a football team. Great matchup.
And needless to say, we'll have more on this one and more on Greedy Williams. Coach Ed Orgeron did address the subject of players potentially sitting out. We're going to hear from him coming up a little later. Harrison?
All right, Morgan, thank you so much. Today, LSU's football team was filled with a different kind of athletes. Hundreds of runners got the chance of a lifetime to finish a race at midfield of Tiger Stadium. The second annual Tiger 10K and 5K happened this morning. The annual race gives runners a chance to have a little fun and get a chance to be up close and personal with their very favorite college football stadium.
His birthday was December 1st, so yeah, it's kind of our celebration as mom and son. Of course, finishing on the 50-yard line, you know, you have to do it once. So once you do it once, you got to do it twice.
Well, the idea of a race finishing in Tiger Stadium, by the way, was thought up by a current LSU athletic staff member who says it's been 10 years in the making to get this event quite literally off the ground. Well, funeral plans for our 41st president have now been set. George H.W. Bush will lie in state at the U.S. Capitol building before a memorial service at the National Cathedral on Wednesday. There will also be a ceremony in Bush's adopted home state of Texas on Thursday before the president is laid to rest at the Presidential Library and Museum named after him in College Station, Texas. President Bush will be laid to rest next to his wife Barbara, who you may recall passed away earlier this year. Coming up this week, Ascension Parish voters will be deciding on a tax to help fund the growing animal shelter there. Karas House Animal Shelter hopes the tax money will go to fund a new building. The property tax would fund raise $1 million over its 10-year lifespan and would go into effect next year. Volunteers say they want to be able to provide the right care so those animals can eventually find themselves a permanent home.
Since Kara's House took over, we've obviously made some minor expansions, but with the current population and the steady growth that Ascension Parish is seeing, we have far surpassed what the current shelter is capable of handling.
The proposed tax revenues would fund shelter operations, the parish's animal control department, and construction of that new building. Of course, voters will be having themselves the final say in the election, which is Saturday. Also on that ballot Saturday, a runoff for Louisiana's Secretary of State, Republican incumbent Kyle Ardoin, hoping for his first full term as Louisiana's top election official after replacing Tom Shedler following his resignation in May. Ardoin is being challenged, though, by Democrat Gwen Collins Greenup, who finished less than 10,000 votes behind Ardoin, despite only spending a few $1,000s on her campaign. This is the only statewide election on that December 8th ballot. December the 8th. And tonight's Crime Tracker, East Baton Rouge deputies need your help tonight, finding a guy they say stole credit cards from an unlocked vehicle at a gym. Deputies say this is a surveillance photo of that suspect, who is accused of using the stolen credit cards multiple times and allegedly racking up charges of more than $7,000. If you know who or how this is going on, investigators can help track him down. All you need to do is call Crime Stoppers. That number, 344-STOP. Anchorage, Alaska is starting to get back to normal tonight after a magnitude 7 earthquake shook the area on Friday. Most of the major damage has been to highways in that region. So far, no serious injuries or deaths have been reported. Governor Bill Walker has issued a disaster declaration, and scientists are predicting more aftershocks. Officials say this is the most significant earthquake in Anchorage since 1964. The National Weather Service is surveying damage in the wake of a tornado outbreak in central Illinois this weekend. The twisters injured at least 20 people and damaged dozens of structures near Springfield, Illinois. One of the town's hardest hit was Taylorville, about 25 miles to the southeast of Springfield. A Taylorville Memorial Hospital spokesman said 21 people arrived for treatment Saturday, with most being discharged within hours.
It's a miracle no one has been killed in this tragedy of these tornadoes. 12 counties were hit by the storms yesterday and last night. Fortunately, no fatalities. Christian County was hit the hardest. Many families completely lost everything, lost their entire homes and their personal possessions.
The National Weather Service says they will not be able to confirm the exact number of those tornadoes until their surveys are complete. Well, still to come this Sunday night, hear from Coach O on missing his star cornerback for the bowl game in Go Nation. That's coming up in just a little bit. Also, spreading holiday cheer through music, where one Baton Rouge group was singing in the season today. Well, over at Southern University today, concert choir helped spread a little more Christmas cheer with a free concert. The choir hosted their annual Christmas concert titled Silent Night, Holy Night. On the program were a whole list of Christmas carols and tunes. Christmas cheer also on display in Louisiana's oldest city this weekend. Natchitoches hosted their 92nd Festival of Lights, which draws visitors from around the South for the annual parade and, of course, thousands of Christmas lights along the river. And if you missed it, though, don't worry. The lights will be on display for 45 nights going all the way through the new year, all the way until January the 6th. One Baton Rouge group is hoping to spread a little bit of giving as they kicked off two big holiday programs. Christmas on the Boulevard marks the official start of both the Red Kettle program and the Angel Tree program, and included live music, an appearance by the U.S. Marine Corps, and of course, you can't forget this detail here, folks, a visit from Santa Claus. If you want more information about how to donate to the Angel Tree program, just head to the Salvation Army's website. You got it on your screen there, salvationarmyalm.org. And a new Christmas tree shining brightly in Scotlandville tonight. For the very first time ever, the area held their own Christmas tree lighting. Our very own Jaron Jordan was the MC for those festivities. The Jewel Norman Community Center put on the tree lighting as a way to bring the community together.
Absolutely love Christmas tree lightings.
Oh, that's beautiful. And Jaron Jordan obviously there too. It's giving his little flair to it as well.
He really got to enjoy it. I love this time of year. I love all the festivities. A lot going on here in Baton Rouge. And if you're very active over the next few days, you're looking at some pretty good weather today. Very warm.
Nice.
Reached that high of 79 degrees today. 1 degree cooler than we were yesterday, guys, but still over 10 degrees warmer than our seasonal average. We're going to drop, though, back to our seasonal average and lower as we head into this week. I'll tell you why after the break. Stay with us.
Now, your Storm Tracker team forecast with Danielle Giuliano.
Well, looking at this map, it kind of seems like Baton Rouge and Louisiana is kind of all around kind of encompassed by some cold air, but we're not necessarily feeling all too cold as we make our way through tonight. But we're seeing some stationary fronts set up here in the southeast, all accompanied with the low pressure low pressure center up by the Great Lakes there, and that's going to kind of affect our weather over the next few days, but nothing too bad here. We are seeing some clouds move onshore tonight, but remaining mostly dry through the overnight hours. We're also going to be cooling things down over the next few days. In fact, the Climate Prediction Center in the next 6 to 10 day outlook has us in these colors of blues, which by now we know what that means. It means we're going to be cooler than average for the next 6 to 10 days. So those of you that are like, oh, it's too warm for the first week of December, well, don't fret, because it's going to be on the cooling trend as you head through the next few days. So a quiet start to our work week on the dry side. 50s return midweek, and late week storm chances. We're looking at the same pattern. Friday night into Saturday could see some strong storms. Taking you hour by hour, we're looking at 12:30 a.m. You see some showers and storms, most of those though coastal locations and actually further off to our east. We're going to stay mostly dry overnight here in Baton Rouge, and then we move into your Monday afternoon, clear skies and dry. Then we head into the overnight hours, a little bit of cloud cover, but mostly staying on the drier side as you head through the next few days. Out there, though, a little bit of cloud cover, nothing too bad. Temperature sitting at 60 degrees and winds are calm this evening here on this Sunday. Temperatures dropping down to the lower 50s for tonight, before we warm up into the 60s. This temperature, though, is almost about 10 degrees cooler than what we saw today. So that's that cooler trend I was talking about, right around our seasonal average. So tonight we're looking at a low around 50 degrees, cool, clear, and comfortable. And tomorrow warming things up into the upper 60s, 68 degrees, sunny skies. That is right around our seasonal average for this time of year. Although Monday is going to be average, our 7-day forecast shows that you head into Tuesday and Wednesday, and temperatures are going to continue to drop into the 50s. In fact, Wednesday being the coldest day of the week with only a high around 54 degrees in forecasting. And there's overnight lows not quite freezing, but still in the mid 30s there in the overnight. So those of you that were like, oh, it's been warm the past couple days, I'm going to turn off my heat. Well, you might want to turn it back on for the next few days here, at least for the overnight hours when it starts to get a little chilly out there. And then we're going to warm things back up around our seasonal average. Friday, we're going to see a frontal system move through. We're going to warm up ahead of it, and then we're going to cool down on the back side of it. And that's when you see those temperatures drop Saturday into Sunday with those isolated rain chances. And guys, always remember to check your BP.
All right, Danielle. Yeah, that Monday through Thursday, by the way, just the rain chances absolutely nil.
No rain chances, mostly sunny, mild temperatures overnight. You definitely need the coat, but you can ditch the umbrella.
Sunny forecast ahead. Another sunny forecast and some bright skies for the LSU football Tigers.
Yes, the team as a whole going to a place they've never been before, playing a team they've never played before in bowl season on New Year's Day. That's the sunny side, but there is a cloud hanging over this game, guys. Big news regarding one of LSU's best players. Next.
And now, Go Nation with Morgan Beard.
The college football rankings are in, and for LSU, it's a time of first. The Tigers get a bid to the Fiesta Bowl for the first time in program history to play undefeated UCF, a team they have never played before. But it's a star player that may affect the Tigers' chances come January 1st. Redshirt sophomore cornerback Greedy Williams announcing on Twitter that he will forego his remaining college eligibility and declare for the NFL draft. But that's not all. Williams will sit out the Tigers' final game of the season to focus on prep for the NFL draft. He's a projected top 10 pick in next year's draft. Head coach Ed Orgeron was asked about the potential of this situation before the announcement today on a teleconference for the Fiesta Bowl.
Last year we had Darius Geis. He played, and it will be a high draft choice. And I talked to Darius about representing the state of Louisiana. He's done a great job about finishing strong. And to me, this is about your team. It's about not an individual. It's one team, one heartbeat. So hopefully we can get all our guys playing. I've talked to some guys. I haven't talked to every one of them yet. I'll probably have a final decision for most of the guys this week.
So that's head coach Ed Orgeron on Greedy Williams. But, of course, this is the game he's sitting out in. So back to this one. New Year's Six Bowl for the Tigers, for head coach Ed Orgeron. And a lot of people really not expecting the Tigers to end up where they are for this one. And like I said, the first time the Tigers are both in this bowl game. And it's the first SEC team in the Fiesta Bowl since the year 2000 when Tennessee was in there. And, of course, as I also said, the first time the Tigers and UCF match up ever on their gridiron. Now, we know where LSU and UCF are going to end up. And let's look at those college football playoff rankings that were released today. A topic of contention going into today was that 4 spot. Would Oklahoma get it, or would Georgia keep it, even with the loss to Alabama? Obviously, the committee giving 1-loss Oklahoma the nod over 2-loss Georgia. And then we go to 6 through 10, Ohio State, Michigan. There's LSU's opponent, UCF. They're undefeated at 12-0, 25-game winning streak. They're number 8. Washington 9, Florida 10, and then there's LSU 9-3, the 11th ranked team in the country. Penn State, Washington State, Kentucky, and Texas round out that top 15. Much more on that one later this week. So as LSU books their bowl ticket, the Southern Jaguars were on the verge on Saturday. A SWAC championship versus rival Alcorn State, with the winner going to Atlanta for the Celebration Bowl. But no ticket to Atlanta needed. Southern falling on Saturday to Alcorn State 37-28. The Jags finished the season with a 7-4 record. But there are things to be positive about. That defense playing lights out to end the year. The emergence of quarterback Ladarius Skelton really giving the team some optimism going forward. But for those 8 outgoing seniors, this one will sting a little while.
I was proud of those seniors for getting us back to this point. When you 2-3 and everybody's looking at you sideways, and you come back in and you go to work and you roll your sleeves up and you're able to finish your season off with a chance to play for a championship, I tell them, look, you can be upset, but you didn't get crowned a champion in this game tonight. But you young men will be champions in life.
Hey, Coach Odoms, all in perspective. He knows what it's all about. How about Anthony Davis, though, and the Pelicans as we switch it up, taking up Kemba Walker and the Hornets tonight, second quarter. Anthony Davis carrying the Pelicans. Nice ball moving in the paint. At least an Anthony Davis score there. And then Kemba Walker missing on the jumper. Davis the rebound. He throws the outlet to Julius Randle. That's a dunk, making it look way too easy. Pelicans up 65-56 at halftime. And then in the fourth quarter, the second half, Davis picking up where he left off, closes it out for the Pelicans. Tim Frazier misses the 3 there. Anthony Davis there for the putback. A great game for Anthony Davis in this one. He finished with 36 points, 19 rebounds. The Hornets win 119-109. And that is how we finish the sports for you tonight. Of course, much more on LSU and their bowl destination all week long. But for now, it's time for a break.
All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Carly Lang, Jaron Jordan, and Kevin Smith will be here tomorrow morning for Local 33 News Today at 5 a.m. It all starts. Until then, get your news, weather, and sports at your fingertips. The BR Proud app. Thank you for your time, and until next time, so long.